Good morning. Get some things together here. Show you the right screen. Invite everybody. It is Wednesday. We're talking performance line today. And all that other stuff you see gym rats taking. It's not even just gym rats anymore. People are just going out, flying out and buying whatever they see any celebrities taking. Oh.
I have no idea what just happened.
Oh.
It kicked me out. It kicked me out, then put me back in.
Oh. You were just a black screen, so I just figured you weren't on yet.
Okay. How you doing?
Good. Feeling like I'm finally starting to catch up on some things. I don't want to jinx myself, but I feel like I'm not quite as scrambling. And so that's good. There's a promotion coming out tomorrow, 10% off. Morning, Lisa. 10% off for orders of 175 and 20% off orders of 275. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to take this opportunity to reach back out to people.
How long does that go till?
Only a couple of days, I think.
I have to place my next order anyway, so it's just
Yeah.
It was obviously that's gonna be a big order.
23rd through the 27th.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Anniversary time. So you and your current customers receive new customers on subscription rewards. Get the same thing.
I just placed another order yesterday of ice and lights.
Oh, and I just did a couple of my, like mine and my husband's Isabody and stuff, and I looked at the chocolates and I was just like, I feel like I'm always trying to get away from the sweets. Like,
yeah.
And as much as they are good chocolates, like I still want to train my taste buds not to feel like it always needs to have sugar, whether it's good, healthy sugar or not. So they're good to have on cleanse days, that's for sure. And they're good to give out and stuff like that. So I might
they saved me on my cleanse days. I don't know what they're gonna come out with or if they're gonna ever come out with a replacement.
I mean, they should be coming out with some new stuff. That new Bia flavor is supposed to drop next month. So that's without caffeine, but it has ginseng in it. So it's a more natural energy boost. And it tasted really good. So
I jumped my cardio up to 3.8 today. 2.8. And then
did you have any pain?
No.
Good. That's a win. Does anybody else have any wins they want to share? I did an improv class yesterday. It was one of the most fun things I've ever done. Yeah. I absolutely had a blast. I went there completely by myself, didn't know a soul, and it was so strange. There was, I think, 15 total. One had to leave, but just, like you can be yourself in front of complete strangers because you're never going to see them again. Like, who cares? But half of them were like actively pursuing acting. And then a couple of them were just like, I'm just here for a fun time. And then somebody's like, I'm retired and I just always wanted to do this. And then, yeah, it was fun. I had a good time, but there was definitely a few people in the room that were not very quick. And so they didn't know how to like read the room. They had a hard time following directions and things like that. So, um, it was, it'd be really fun to do with people that kind of like matched, you know, like your speed. So they do have a class that you can like, um, uh, audition into. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's so far away and I got a job and like a family and all that stuff. So, anybody else? Sarah, I see you on. I hope the new job is going well, or the 2 new jobs if you've still kept both.
Yep, still have both. Going good. Just hate being that new person. I've always been used to being the top dog. So I hate this being on the bottom, like your section wise and schedule and all that. So
Yeah.
I'm still good.
Are you feeling more like gravitating towards one of them more than the other?
No, not quite yet.
Mm.
I have to remember that this is the slow season in restaurants. So, I can't compare money yet.
Got it.
So,
Yeah, it should be picking up in the next couple weeks though.
yeah, and come spring break, hopefully it'll start.
If we have a spring, I don't know how your weather is, but our spring.
It's the coldest it's been like here. I feel like almost.
Yeah, ours is the wettest winter since 1990.
They keep saying, yeah, that we have all these records, that we're breaking through all these records right now with the rain, and we've been on like a multiple year drought. So everybody's like, yay, we're getting this rain, but it's actually like flooding the crops and it's going to cause like years of damage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like,
it's too much rain. We're over our drought period.
I'm seeing grass grow in the neighborhoods that I've never seen it grow there before. Like, that was just dirt last year. That's been dirt the whole time I've lived here. So now there's grass. So I'm like, that's funny. But it is beautiful. It's like everything is lush.
Has that helped though with wildfires or?
Yeah, we haven't had any fires for months, but like, I think it's more fall. That's like that dry season. So hopefully this will like, cause it to stay, for a while without fires, but a lot of those fires, are man-made. People go up there and light off fireworks and burn down cities. But yeah, I remember growing up in Minnesota, I always wanted, so my birthday is next week, and I always wanted there to be no snow on the ground. And every year there's always some snow. So I moved away. Now there's no snow on my birthday. And that'll be the same when I go back to Georgia. It snows like maybe once every couple of years, and it'll just like dust and everybody freaks out.
I thought Georgia snowed more than that.
Nope, they don't get anything. Not even like northern Georgia. Because when we lived in South Carolina, which is the next state up north, we got pretty much the same thing. Like once a year, maybe like light flurries. And then once you get into North Carolina, it'll snow a little bit more. And then Virginia is when it really like starts to get that snow. So, but out here in the mountains get snow. So it's just about elevation in California. So any wins? Anybody else want to share some wins this week?
Well, I don't know if it's probably momentarily, but I lost 4 pounds yesterday, so I'm good with that. And on my cleanse, so we'll see how many stick to that though.
You guys, like, that's a big deal, because so Noah and I started meeting and working together months ago, and there was like a long plateau, and so like this is awesome. Like, and it was even like some of the cleansing and stuff, it was starting to get discouraging, but I think everything else that you're doing, getting back into fitness and staying on track and following our meal plan and everything has been really good. So
yeah, now I can finally work out again with my knee problems.
I know.
Once I get to 100%, then I'll be able to really, really jump it up. But
I'll get ripped. Yeah. We're talking performance today. Yeah.
I just ordered some more amped hydrate.
Yeah, I've got some coming too.
What you order? What
we got? Well, we have some orange and we got lemon lime. So
love the lemon lime
yeah.
one. It's my favorite.
I think I hesitated with lemon lime because sometimes lemon lime can be a little bit like Mountain Dewy and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like not into that. But this is like a much more of like kind of a lemonade that's not sour. So
It is, because I don't like that coconut one. The coconut
yeah,
one is, it's just, there's nothing to it.
right. I so coconut water, if you guys have ever tried it, it's like a thicker nectar consistency. It reminds me of like spit. And like, so anything that's like coconut water or coconut flavored, I like coconut. It's a very weird relationship I have with that palette, because when I have ordered the coconut sticks or the coconut hydrate, if I add it into other things like my strawberry shake, that would be really nice. Like, or even my chocolate shake, like a chocolate coconut.
Mhm.
And that was the only way I could drink it, is that I had to mix it in with other things so that I didn't have that like,
It's like an almond joy.
yeah. I mean, without being like super sweet, but I think that's where I got that idea, because there's that old uh forever ago they came up with all those different ways to jazz up your shakes, and there's an almond joy one on there.
I
And so
have a, I have one of the, I found one of those old recipe books that ISA has.
oh
And
wow.
it's got a bunch of, but obviously I'm not, since I'm trying to lose weight, I'm not adding all this, fruit into it and everything else.
Yeah,
I'm just doing the, you know,
the bare
but
minimum.
Sarah, I
Yeah.
did try the greens that you talked about. I can't do it.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
with the peanut butter though.
Yeah, the peanut butter works.
Yeah. So we found out that, so Noah doesn't like the greens, but he put it in his shake with peanut butter and a couple of other things, and he said it was much better.
Mix the greens with a hydrate. That's what I do. Like that's my green concoction. I don't just drink the greens by itself. I mix
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, we always talk about those like really powerful flavors that like overwhelm stuff that you don't like. So I just never thought about peanut butter and greens, but hey, what works works. If something's too spicy, if you've made like an Asian dish and it's too spicy, add peanut butter, it'll tone it down a bit. I learned that. So
Yeah, peanut butter will do anything, especially.
yeah, the things that you pick up randomly throughout the way. And so we're going to talk today. We'll kind of like mix in a little bit of a story time and talk more about what people take to enhance their performance, aka their fitness. I do want to throw out also that Noah and I are friends on MyFitnessPal. If anybody else uses it or wants to be in our little, chat on there to help encourage and support each other. And then Noah, I did see you. Did you join? You downloaded Fit On, right?
Yeah, I've had. It's funny. I've actually had it on my phone, but I just haven't done it till yesterday.
Yeah. So that's an app that has a whole bunch of different workouts on it. So if anybody joins that, we can be app friends. Yay. So I want to share a story about the fitness line that has changed like my life. When I first came back into Isogenics after like several years of not using the products, one of the things that I ordered right away was the Nox. This is an oxidizer. It has beets in it. It helps move basically oxygen throughout your body. It's great for recovery, performance, things like that. So I ordered that, and I also ordered the Power pre-workout, which does not have caffeine. And I really only ordered that one because it was cheaper than the one with caffeine. And so between those two, I was taking them to get back into fitness. I had been out of the game for a while. I was in the military. I've done CrossFit. I've done all different kinds of workouts. So I had felt really out of shape. I had my son. He was about 15 months old. And so my body had healed, if it ever really heals, it had healed much, about as good as it was going to get at that point. And I had lost some weight just from, working hard and doing some crash diets. But every time that I went to go do anything fitness related, I would have joint pain, or like I'd run out of breath right away. And it was just so uncomfortable. So I took the Nox hoping that that would help me not lose my breath so freaking fast. And then I took the Power, the pre-workout, so that I would try to, be able to stay in the workout longer, because I would, you know, lose my breath after 5 minutes and then I'd lose all energy after 10. And I'm like, you can't, like, I'm not even doing my body any good by getting into the right heart rate zone or anything like that. So I started with just getting out my neighborhood, which is a little bit hilly, and running a little bit. I kind of did like this circle that we had. And when I could do one circle without stopping, I celebrated. When I could do one circle plus some of the side streets to equal a mile, that was huge, right? It was like, let's celebrate. I was so excited. I started running down the street towards this big park, and I got 2 miles in. Yay. I did the Army standard, right? We have to run 2 miles. And I was nowhere near the numbers that I used to pull, but I celebrated. And with the combination of the weight loss products and healing my joints, because inflammation and all these things, stretching properly, within a couple months, I was running more than 2 miles. I was running 4 miles. I ran 5 miles. And just before we moved and left Kansas, I was up to about 6. And I was so excited because I'd never ran more than 6 miles the entire time I was in the Army. Like, I accidentally ran 6 miles one time, and it was not on purpose. And that was even back before we had, like, everybody had a watch that told you how far you went. So one person in my running group was like, hey, we hit 6 miles, because none of the rest of us had watches that knew. So that was that story. But moving on to getting to California, I kept running because we were on lockdown. There was nothing to do here. And I got up to 7.5. And I was like, look at me go. This is awesome. And then I got invited to join 2 ladies to run the Army 10 miler. And I was like, I don't know if I could do 10 miles. And they were like, you absolutely can. If you can do 7.5, you can do 10 miles. It's totally fine. Like, you can absolutely do it. I'm like, that is so far to run. I don't know that I could ever, you know, get it done without training for years more. So I geared up. I had basically at this point been using our recovery. I'd started using, you know, I've always used the hydrate, but I was doing our branched chain amino acids. Like, I was literally taking everything that you can in our fitness line to help me gear up and get ready for this. I did not, however, officially sign up. And so I never got like the t-shirt or the medal or anything like that. I just ran with them in case I didn't make it the full 10. So we actually started in much closer to Noah's stopping grounds. We started in Huntington Beach, and we ran down to Newport and then back. And so it was 5 miles out, 5 miles back, right on the beach. So I saw the ocean the entire time. And one of the gals that we ran with was just a speed demon. Like, she was gone. Like, we were like goodbye. And then me and one other gal, we were the same pace the whole time, and we finished together, and I was able to do the full 10 miles. So I've not run that far since. Not too long after that, I was actually committed and ready to do a half marathon. And then that was October, that following January, I had an injury. And so I didn't get my half marathon done. They actually moved the one that was supposed to be in June to November, and it ended up being on the weekend of a funeral, but I still wasn't completely healed yet and ready to go. And so, so maybe one day I'll run a half marathon, but everybody that I saw from my injury was like, running is so bad for you. But I have never found such a high, and I could never have done it truly and honestly if it wasn't for our products, to be honest. But I want to switch gears just slightly and talk a little bit about the other products, the ones that you can find at GNC or Walmart or the grocery store, things like that. Now, we always talk about how clean ours is, free of heavy metals, free of pesticides, everything that they say is on the labels in there. And you don't get that from anything else on the shelves. Any old person can create a vitamin or a supplement, and there's no regulatory place to submit it. Like, it's all just whatever they say. The FDA, we joked about this, Noah and I, the FDA will go ahead and approve blue syrup that is Captain Crunch flavored for your pancakes and things. But the FDA does not touch things like pre-workout, protein shakes, meal replacement. vitamins. My vitamin D that was prescribed by a doctor is not FDA approved. Like there's a big problem there, right? So when you are going to look at putting something into your body that is going to alter your state, make you feel different, whether it's a food or it's a supplement, it should be regulated, right? So there are a lot of young people, especially, that live in that, I'm going to go and get a pre-workout that is going to jack me out of my mind, that increases their heart rate. It gives them that pump, and they end up having health issues because of that. Now, I've seen people chase pre-workout, they dry scoop it, which I don't know how anybody could do that. And they chase it with like a Monster. And so that is ridiculous. That makes me so nervous. I feel like that's a ER visit waiting to happen. That is, your heart can only do so much. And if you're not conditioned and you're just brand new to starting out, and that's what you're seeing these influencers do on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. And these young kids are going out and doing it, thinking that they're going to get ripped, in 5 minutes. So our stuff is checked for dangerous things that can give you those feelings. However, you can overdose on anything. So I've seen some of our very well-conditioned athletes within the Isogenics community. They will dry scoop our nitro, which has caffeine in it, and chase it with an e-shot. Do not do this if you're a newbie. You're much safer with our products, but that is more of an advanced style workout. I always recommend, if you're brand new to pre-workout, start with something without caffeine. And we have a great power right now. It's what I've been using lately. I did switch to nitro for many years, but I've been backing off on caffeine. So the power has been working out really well. But don't trust the pre-workouts at the stores. Do your research. If you want to try something, find something.
I was on this one called Aftershock for a while.
They all have funny names like that. Like they're all like,
yeah, it was.
So I love my husband and I trust my husband to do his research. Like he checks the things, and he has a buddy that works at a supplement store. And so his buddy sends him recommendations and things to try, mostly stuff that we don't have. He uses a creatine. It's a very pure, good form creatine, but he's been using a pre-workout that is through that. And he did his research and he looked at it, and it looks pretty good, but it does have funny names like Pumpageddon or Pumpageddon, like Armageddon, Pumpageddon. And then the flavor is Mangalorean, like Mandalorian, but it's mango. So you got to laugh at it. I'm not saying like everything on the shelf is like the worst thing ever for you. There are good companies out there, but you really just have to encourage people to do their research. There is so much out there beyond like pre-workout that just does not have much benefit. We have a branched chain amino acids, which is really great. You can find those anywhere. A lot of people can find branched chain amino acids just fine in their normal diet. But if you are somebody who doesn't get as much of the nutrients in that that you should, because you're busy, because you've got a lot going on, you're vegan, things like that, the branched chain amino acids is a great option for you for the during workout time. Some of the branched chain amino acids out there don't have all of them. A lot of this stuff too, we talk about tastes like absolute trash. And at Isogenics, we do everything we can to make everything taste nice for you. So that is a little bit about today's topic. I could go on and on, but I do want to
also note they are sports certified. So meaning that they are, we do send them out to get tested.
And Olympic athletes.
Olympian, yeah.
Yeah.
Can use it.
At our headquarters, I should have dug out that photo. We have this whole wall of like professional athletes that have used our products and stuff. So it's been pretty cool. One person that was on our team for a while, I'm not sure if she's still with us, but her husband is an Olympian with what's that sport where like you shuffleboard on the ice?
Oh, curling.
He's a curler. And so an Olympic, but you don't really need to be super athletic to be a curler. You just really got to do that.
I find that to be the funniest sport.
It is so entertaining to watch. So let's talk about nitro for a second. This is our pre-workout that is that does have caffeine in it. Of course, all of our caffeine is more of a natural source. We don't use any caffeine that's like, you know, like unclean or not tested and things like that. And so this is delicious flavor. It is watermelon. If you pour it in your cup and anybody's near you, they can smell it. I've had so many people like, what is that? That smells so good. But this has multiple benefits. Not only does it give you that stamina, it gives you that energy, but it helps with your muscle mass and power as well as strength. All of our stuff is soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free. Well, not dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, free of artificial flavors, colors, preservatives. But this one is, it says vegetarian, but it's really vegan. And so what's not vegan is our repair that has bovine collagen in it. I take it just because I'm a rebel, and as a vegan, I do what I want. So and
what's interesting is they talk about the repair as a replacement for glucosamine for the joint formula we used to have. And I find that to be interesting because I've tried that. I don't think it's as good as what we did have.
We had a joint supplement, and I did use that for a long time because of my joint issues. There's a couple things that I've noticed is like, one, with pills, sometimes you don't always see like the, direct results, but like the drinks are a little bit more like quicker. And so when you are using repair, it's going to go where your body needs it first. So if you're using the repair for muscle and you're sore, it's going to go to your muscles. It's not going to get to your joints. And so if you're using the repair to help with your joints, then you need to be having it daily, like you need to be like potentially even taking it more than once. But again, like don't go off of the directions of what something says unless you've talked to your doctor and like you've looked up how much like you can have of different things. Like I met somebody once that was taking 30 milligrams or 30 grams of collagen every day, but she had multiple bone surgeries and all kinds of different things. She had a tree fall on her in New Zealand. And so her pelvis was crushed and multiple things. So she was recommended in doing that because of her doctor, not because of anybody else. So unfortunately, it would have been a little bit expensive for her to use our collagen for 30 grams a day.
Yeah. I think talks about how she drinks it nightly to help. As she's gotten older, she says she likes to drink it at night.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I will wrap up today's recorded portion here. As always, this is a community call where you can learn about fun topics. We want to know what everybody's interested in hearing about. I'm going to be sending out the April, May, June ones here shortly. I think I've already got them written down somewhere, but the assignment really, it kind of varies each week. Sometimes it's an obvious one. Sometimes it's just kind of do whatever. But if you're somebody who's into fitness, or if you want to get into fitness, I just challenge you to ask one of us who've been using the products for a while, what's the best path for you? Because there's a package that you could get, but you can also just pick a la carte. If you're like, okay, I'm just starting out, I'm going to do ballet. Well, I'd probably recommend branched chain amino acids for you. If you're somebody that wants to get into running, I would probably recommend Knox for you. If you're somebody that wants to get into powerlifting, I'd probably recommend the pre-workout for you. So it all depends on what you're looking for, but we've got something for everybody. So thank you all for joining. Let me stop share.
Sadie, I ran out of something and I just tried to see how it would work. I wasted my money. I tried the Costco brand of collagen.
Look at you. You were experimenting for us.
Yeah, there was
the research.
There was no difference. I mean, I'm actually I didn't even finish the bottle. It was just like the canister. There was just I noticed absolutely no difference from it.
Yeah, I used a collagen gummy a long time ago and I didn't feel any different. Like this was a long time ago and I didn't notice anything. It was just something that I was like, I'm not gonna spend my time with that.
No. I just wanted to be very interested in they're selling all this collagen and it doesn't work.
Right. All right, let me stop the recording.